Welcome, Spud. Our departure time is 1800. Get your bird started, and I'll meet you at the runway.
Cobble ready. Tusk 1-1. Request startup. Tusk 1-1. Cobble ready. Clear for startup. Wind 254 at 3 meters per second.
Cold 1-1. Cold 1-2. Radio check. Primary mission is close air support. This means being able to put the bombs on the target and not on the friendly. Guided weapons, the job is easier. With unguided bombs, it is your skill that is the difference between success or failure. When making your attack runs, do not become target fixated. Ensure you leave enough altitude to pull out and recover from the attack. Analyzing winds is critical for accurate weapon delivery. Use your EGI readings and visual indications provided by dust and smoke. Winds affect the weapon's delivery pattern and need to be accounted for. Ensure you set the minimum altitude to 500 AGL for all bomb profiles in the DSMS. This is the foul line, and you will fail this PO if you go below this altitude. And above all, studs, make sure you positively ID the targets. We don't want to kill any friendlies today. check starts now.
Rolling.
Cold 1, 2, fly heading 245 Angels 8 and maintain an appropriate speed.
Wheels up.
Do not go below Angels 5 unless the restriction is terminated. Profile. Threat level is low, so this will be a high altitude profile. Your first target is at waypoint 5, and this will be a CCIP weapons delivery using the Mark 82. Second target will be at waypoint 6. This will be a CCRP weapons delivery using the Mark 84s. Your third target will be at waypoint 7. You can choose CCIP or CCRP delivery methods and the remaining Mark 82s or Mark 84s. Your last target will be a moving convoy near waypoint 8. Use the CCRP delivery and the CBU-87 cluster bombs on this target. You are permitted to finish any remaining targets using gun strafing. Let's review the air-to-ground training rules. Perform all delivery passes, including jettison passes, whether hot or dry, using live ordnance delivery parameters to include fuse arming, safe escape, safe separation, and flight deconfliction considerations. Avoid populated areas to the maximum extent possible when carrying externally loaded heavyweight inert or internally loaded live ordnance. Prior to first release, when carrying expendable ordnance, live, inert, or training, final switch configuration for weapon release will not be accomplished until the aircraft is in such a position that any accidental release will be contained within the range. Do not conduct simulated attacks against off-range or manned targets with internally and externally loaded live ordnance or externally loaded heavyweight inert ordnance. This restriction does not apply to 20-30mm ammunition, BDU-33s, 2.75-inch
Warning, autopilot
rockets, or non-expendable training assets. The use of combat laser mode of a laser designator is restricted to laser-certified ranges. All air-to-surface laser operations on range will be in accordance with AFI 13-212 range planning and operations and local range procedures.
Warning, autopilot.
Knock it off can be called by anyone and all must acknowledge. If you see it first, call it. This can be due to a training rule violation, loss of SA, out-of-control flight, radio failure, bingo fuel, or any other dangerous situation. Nordo aircraft will rock his wings to indicate the radio failure. Since we will be maneuvering, we will do a G-awareness test shortly after passing waypoint 2. The brevity code is G-warm. This is important in assessing your G proficiency and getting back your timing and execution of the anti-G straining maneuver, checking G-suit and combat edge connections in operation, calibrating how you apply onset and control at peak level aircraft G, and providing an exposure to the cardiovascular system to activate its reflex response to a drop in blood pressure. A maneuver of 3 to 5 Gs for about 10 seconds is required to fully develop this reflex response. The maneuver is not performed in order to test how many G you can pull that day. Don't G-lock on the G-awareness turn. Remember your anti-G straining maneuver. Anticipate the G. Simultaneously tense all lower body muscle groups, legs, butt, and abdominal muscles. Deep breath with forced exhalation against the closed airway. Quick breath every 3 seconds, once at peak G. Minimize communications. Don't relax until the G is unloaded. Hold 1-2, turn right to heading 065 and maintain Angels 8.
Warning, autopilot.
One, Excel, G-Worm. Colt 1, G-Worm, 90, left, go. Colt 1, G-Worm, 90, right, go. One, 2, fenced in, 4.3. SIF, range control, Colt 1-2, request clearance for Colt 1, flight of 2 A-10s west of entry Alpha. We have 2 Mark 84s, 6 Mark 82s, 2 CBU 87s, and 2 AIM-9s.
Colt 1-2, SIF range control, you're cleared at entry Alpha. You have the airspace from 500 to flight level 400. Weather is clear, visibility good in all quadrants. Authorize Colt 1-2 control.
Colt 1-2 confirms, all altitudes, clear of clouds, hard deck 500. I have control. About the weapons you are using today. The Mark 82 is a low-drag general-purpose slick bomb, also called an LDGP. It contains 192 pounds of tritonal high explosive and can be mounted on triple or single ejector racks. The Mark 84 is the big brother of the Mark 82 and contains 945 pounds of heat-fixed tritonal high explosive. It can only be mounted on a single ejector rack. The CBU-87 is a combined effects munition, CEM, that contains 202 BLU-97B combined effects bomblets. Each CEB is designed to dispense into 300 fragments. This weapon can be effective against the light armor covering the top of a tank. Using the CCIP method, fly smooth coordinated inputs on final. During the dive, concentrate on letting the sight track to the release point. Put the death dot on the target. If a previous delivery missed the target, correct in the next pass by offsetting 1/2 the miss distance in the opposite direction of the previous miss. Execute your safe escape maneuver either by climbing or turning level turn. For low altitude deliveries, execute a turning level turn safe escape maneuver. Remember that the CCRP method always targets the SPI. A technique for all CCRP deliveries is to enter the target coordinates in a steer point and set that as SPI. Ensure the SPI is set as the current steer point. Centering the pitch ladders over the target results in a smooth projected bomb release line that tracks through the target. The targets will be popping smoke to help you VID them. call, Tally. Once you locate the target visually, you have permission to engage. Targets, you are permitted to circle the target area and re-engage if required. Do not stray outside the target range or MOA. You're at the IP. You are cleared in hot.
Contact target 12 o'clock, point 3. 2. Contact target 9 o'clock, point 4. 2. Contact target 12 o'clock, point 3.
Pull 1-2. Tally.
2. Contact armor target 8 o'clock, point 5. 2. Contact target 12 o'clock, point 5. 2. Contact armor target 12 o'clock, point 3.
Good pass. Re-engage.
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
Check your altitude, stud. That's a kill. Let's move to the next target.
Altitude.
Check
Pull
your
up,
altitude,
pull up.
stud.
Knock it off, knock it off. You broke the hard deck restriction. This PO is terminated. You did poorly, stud. Your rating is an unqualified. You need to spend more time training. Repeat this PO again when you are ready.